Hey, welcome to No Jumper News. It's Adam22 here with your man AD. Let's get right into these stories. So first things first, recently aired episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami featured Trina lashing out at Trick Daddy because she was having a bad day. In the clip posted to social media, Trina and Trick Daddy were trying to come up with ideas on how to celebrate the 21st anniversary of Trina's first successful track, The Baddest Bitch, while hosting their radio show together on 99 Jams in their hometown of Miami. Because it was the anniversary of Trina's younger brother's murder, she explained that she wasn't feeling well that day, and when Trick started asking Trina a few too many questions, she lashed out and unleashed on him.
I'm not in a good mood today. It's just one of these days. I'm just not in a good mood. Every year this day, I have the worst anxiety of the day. Right now at 9:51, my little brother was killed. I don't want to talk about none of this today. Now, no work, no radio, nothing. I don't want to talk about. I don't care. Let me explain something to you. I lost my brother today, the day. Y'all can wrap this because I'm out of here. I'm not talking about nothing. That I told you already. It ain't a good day today for me. It's not time for that, my.
Trick Daddy seemed confused about the reaction from Trina, so he informed her that she forgot her phone case in the studio as she stormed out, which she didn't seem to care about. Trina's brother, Will Brent Bain Jr., was shot and killed in Northwest Miami in April of 2013 following a dispute with a friend. He was just 19 years old. Police quickly arrested a man named Ron Dobson and charged him with second-degree murder. Okay, so first things first, Trick Daddy's having a big week. Now everybody knows that he enjoys getting his ass eaten, which it now occurs to me he's actually been honest about a few times in the past. But now, in addition, we got this story going down. And it's very different because I actually didn't even know that he had a radio show with Trina in Miami. But now I do. Did you know that?
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that, but I think it's pretty important that we know that. And also, I know that he likes to get his ass eaten with his legs up in the air.
I was told that you like to get your ass eaten with your legs up.
You know, I'm a very open-minded guy, so I do all kinds of things. But yeah, I was interested to learn that about Trick Daddy. As far as Trina, I mean, she probably could have just not gone into work that day if she knew she was going to be in that mood. But I guess, you know, sometimes it creeps up on you. I mean, it's certainly a valid reason to not be in a good mood. I would think that the radio station hopefully would be down to give her a day off given the grisly circumstances, but definitely my heart goes out to her in terms of having to deal with that and having it come up again and again each year. I mean, that's just awful.
I mean, I done had situations on the pod where I wasn't like, I was thinking about people and death and stuff too. And, you know, I ain't want to let the fans down by not coming and stuff. So I understand, you know, she has an obligation and she came and tried to do the best that she can and they got the best of her. And, you know, she's human.
Especially like Trick Daddy just trying to talk about getting his salad tossed and shit. And she's probably just not in the mood for that. You know? Definitely. I mean, me and House Phone have both shed tears on the podcast in the course of the past like week or two, which led to me saying in the group chat the other day, if you ain't crying on the podcast, you ain't holding your own weight. So I feel like, you know, we got to let our emotions fly this year. If you have anything that you want to get out, the podcast is the place for it.
I agree. Shows you're human, man.
Yeah. Let it all out.
Next story. In the wake of discovering her body inside her Texas apartment, the parents of 33-year-old Miss Mercedes, born Jenae Gagnier, described her murder at the hands of what they believe was a crazed follower. While details are still being revealed and what authorities have ruled as a murder-suicide, her father, Mark Gardner, explained he became concerned when the family had not heard from Jenae over the weekend and knocked down her door when he found the home locked up. I know my daughter. When I got to my daughter's house and it was locked up and she's not answering my phone calls, which is not like her, I knew something was up, he said. So I didn't hesitate to kick the door down. What I saw, I wouldn't want any parent to go through. Miss Mercedes' lifeless body was found at the bottom of the staircase. Initially, her father believed she could have fallen down the stairs until he found suspect Kevin Alexander Arcorato still alive upstairs after reportedly stabbing himself in the neck. He was twitching. He was gurgling. I could look in the room and there was writings all over the wall. The writings appeared to range from Arcorato apologizing to him, professing his love for her, including "I was used for money, sorry to the landlord and the community, I heard a lot, okay, and I wish I never loved her." Investigators believe Arcorato and Miss Mercedes didn't know each other personally, but people like him were the type of followers that her father had admittedly been long concerned about. My monthly conversation is, Jenae, you have all these followers. Some probably because they love you, some because they like your look, some more crazy and some obsessed. I don't know how he found her, and I don't know how all this happened. The medical examiners ruled Jenae's death was a homicide. She was strangled and suffered a traumatic concussion. The Fort Bend County medical examiner confirmed. Investigators are still trying to figure out how Arcorato found out where she lived. After news of Mercedes' passing, passing, bro, tributes starting pouring in and out her social media. Cardi B took to her Instagram story to defend Jenae after rumors and speculation began to spread online about the nature of her death. And while some tried to blame it on her own death. So sad, and fuck you bitches and niggas trying to justify it because of her lifestyle. Y'all would hate on a bad bitch dead or alive. She was a sweetheart. Before her passing, the Instagram OnlyFans model had amassed over 2.6 million followers on social media.
You know, this story really hits me as being, you know, a terrible situation. Also kind of weirdly similar to the situation with Germ and his girl who got killed in Atlanta. Basically, I mean, if you're a beautiful woman with a big Instagram following, you got to be on alert. You know, you need cameras outside the crib. You should probably keep the thing on you if at all possible, especially in your home, because, you know, for every normal dude who just follows you and wants to just subscribe to your OnlyFans or whatever, there's going to be some sick fuck like this who is just going to, you know, find out where you live, I guess, and just show up at your house. I mean, women, realistically, they need to be very concerned about their safety if they don't want to become victims to psychopathic motherfuckers like this.
This is terrible, and I feel horrible for her dad, man, to witness that, and, you know, that having to play in his head and stuff like that. You know, hopefully he gets the mental health that he needs, bro.
Hopefully he spends the rest of his life in jail.
Man, fuck that. I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know what I would do if I was in that father's shoes, but I don't give a fuck if that guy was gurgling or doing anything else. I'm about to finish the job right then and there. Fuck him spending his life in jail. I'm taking that nigga out, bro.
Oof, the head stomp would be very tempting right there. I mean, that mental image that they painted in this whole situation of this poor fucking father showing up, seeing his daughter murdered, and then having to find the guy who did it, and he's laying there gurgling, choking on his own blood. I mean, this is some real horror movie shit, and it just, I don't know. I mean, I think we need to be teaching self-defense to women, and we need to be supplying women with firearms, and there's just no other way around it. I don't see how this situation gets better unless you have women, you know, able to defend themselves, because obviously they're the less powerful, the less strong in these situations, and if they don't arm themselves, then they're basically just going to be sitting ducks for dudes like this to take advantage of them.
In situations like this, you know, somebody that has a daughter, it reminds you of the evils that are lurking around. You know, woman was full of life, had a lot going for herself, you know what I'm saying? Had a massive following, and then you have creeps watching every move. And it's, ladies, if you're listening to this, don't get too drunk and don't be by yourself when you're leaving the club. Make sure people walk you to the car. It's not worth it, because there's guys out here that are fucking willing to cause you harm for you just being you. And this is sad. Hopefully we'll never have to hear this or report on anything like this ever again.
Definitely. And I mean, you know, you can be smart and cautious and thoughtful about who you have problems with in terms of, you know, dealing with rational people. Like you could go walk to the 7-Eleven and feel all right about it because you're thinking, all right, you know, I don't got no problems with anybody, so I can just be walking to the 7-Eleven. This woman was not dealing with someone who was in the right mind. When you read the shit that he had to say, it's like, oh, this guy's fucked. He's completely out of his mind. It's just a situation where, I mean, rational logic is not going to get you anywhere. It's like, straight up, this is a crazy person. He should have been locked away in prison. I don't know what his prior convictions look like or anything like that, or if he even had any. That was the situation with Germ's girl. The guy should have been in prison in the first place. But yeah, I mean, we gotta protect women, and we gotta like teach them to protect themselves better, I guess, because this is a really terrible situation. Rest in peace. YouTube, do us a favor, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all that shit. Drop a comment letting us know what you want us to talk about next time. We'll be back. Appreciate y'all.